Shout out to everybody here. I don't know about you or me. Sorry, I got the music up. I don't know about you or me, right? But it feels to me like this isn't a Monday. It feels like we've lived through 7 Tuesdays in a row. It's been insane. The washing machine of movement in price action in cryptocurrency has been exhausting, to say the least. We will persevere no matter what. But it has been an insane couple of weeks. S&P pumping, NASDAQ moving, and we're seeing these booms and breaks of previous highs from a year ago too as well. And so we're getting a discorrelation, basically we're not correlated. Things have been happening. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have a beautiful Monday. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. Thank you so much for jumping on in and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Leverage Show, baby. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Lost a little is the track if you want to know. Okay, so Bitcoin. It's getting overbought on the 1 hour time frame as it just meanders with a lower high, likely to make a lower low here in this downtrend that's starting to form. At the end of the day, it is a downtrend that we're kind of battling here because we can't seem to get back above this zone, 26,700, and then to 26,168, or even you could even raise it higher than that. Actually, this is that main area. Always remember this. Remember, we had resistance. We broke above it. It felt like we could make it. We fell below it. That became a resistance still. So you can even move this up and see, like, there's just some levels that have to be broken for Bitcoin to remain bullish, right? The weirdest thing that I saw was this resembled a diamond to me, a diamond pattern, right? But just the way it, like if I do this, it has a lot of diamond vibes to it. It's almost the definition of a diamond. It looks great, but it like snuck in from the top. Like there's no way I could kind of fake this, try to do something like that, but it's just too much. That feels right. That sits right. So it broke out, broke inside, made a diamond. But either way, to me, it still kind of nips the bottom there. So I would have to still call it a reversal diamond. And, it has reversal diamond vibes. So just odd. But that's something that I've been looking at, and we've been looking at too as a whole. So Bitcoin, choppy price action, back and forth, up and down. Very boring price action, especially for a Sunday night, right? There was volatility, but not like you would have thought, But it's always there. Look at the 15-minute with the nice little dump to the downside. There's an M pattern right there. M's break you to the downside, That's where these little scalps come into play. You see an M on the 7, bang. Just like if you flip this upside down, you saw a nice little double bottom to the upside, right? It's the same concept. There's probably a bullish divergence right there. You just start understanding. Look, I haven't even seen it, but I bet it's there. And there it is. You're swinging down, but you're getting this nice swing to the upside here on the RSI, right? And sometimes it does cover like a whole area. Like what are you doing? Like this. Like it's like a triple, Seen that play out many times. And then at the same time, you're looking at a falling wedge, right? But you got the divergence there. Anyway, these are just little places to take little bites. Scalp trade on small time frames, right? So, to me, this is the only viable idea because it's a mess. Price action is just a mess. So this is one concept I'm looking at. The other idea is like we're just in this. This is it right here. We're in this rectangle. And to me, it's still kind of shoulder, head, right shoulder. It's got some head and shoulder vibes. So that's what I see. Bitcoin not looking too healthy for me at the moment. My 22-hour. Let's see what the 22 hour is looking like. had some bullish engulfing candles. If I take away my other work, but I mean, end of the day, it's top of the channel, right? Top of the channel, top of the channel, top of the channel. Every time it's done this, it's came to the bottom of the channel, you know, period. This one wasn't even just a really fast move, but it went to the top of the channel, came back down. So you have to assume as a trader that you're going to come back down here to the bottom of the channel if you can't break out of here and get a move to the upside. It's like this diagonal trend line has to be broken for Bitcoin to get, and like you do see, you know, a bar of liquidity right here. So that's going to be what someone would call an order block, but that's, you know, that's a major sell, buy and sell area. That area is going to be 28,100, obviously about 28K, but so, and you know, for that all to happen, you got to break 26.7, bounce, then come up here for 27.5, make a move, and then hit the target. So there's a path, but it's so crucial that you get out of this area. Okay. Daily still has room. I could see it rip, like it's not over, you know. And 3-day chart finally getting that positive move. Hasn't gotten the MACD cross yet. Not saying it has to yet. Usually it is a latent signal after a pump, but and so that's, you know, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin on the bigger time frames too as well, like on the weekly. And I just keep harping about we got to get back above this 200 SMA, the simple. I mean, it's like the most crucial thing ever. I mean, these wicks tell me a story that we can get up there because there's a lot of buy pressure into the area. So if these were just like bigger this way and like this one, you know, or this one here, but I mean, this is a lot of buy pressure, especially specifically the last week. You know, it dipped down, but people were very eager to buy the price action up to the upside. It almost was like a gift. You know, a lot of people wanted 25 too. Like, well, I'll take 24/7. So a lot of people saw 24K and snatched it up. Important to see this weekly candle close above this yellow line. It's just kind of the battle continues. And like we get back above there, we could retest it, and this falling wedge can finally do its thing like it wanted to do in the first place, right? It's just lagging around. So that's Bitcoin to me on a big scale. And then the 3-day chart still looks good to me. We've been watching the 3-day chart this whole time, waiting for this move to the upside. So the falling wedge is supposed to break up 68% of the time. Doesn't mean it's going to. But the odds are that it's going to break up to the upside. So it is what it is. Shout out to everybody here on a beautiful Monday morning. Hope you're loving yourself. Did you work out this morning? Hope you're hanging out there, doing your thing. Let's look at the Fear and Greed Index at 47. I'd like to take a nibble down into these shaded regions if we ever got a chance. Every time I get into here, my man, my girls, my lifers and lifettes, this is the place to be grabbing up Bitcoin, in my humble opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But whenever I see these levels in here, I start to get thirsty for Satoshis and start loading up on Satoshis, because that, my friends, is the place. That is the place to be jumping on in. That fear and greed. When you get that fear right where you want it, that's the place to be. For sure. For sure. Okay, let me see the chat. Shout out to everybody here on the chat. Morning Lifer, PS Future of Gaming, my man. Shout out to everybody here in the live. Shout out to you, Sam. Thanks for Father's Day stream. Amen, man. It's a beautiful day to wire a building. Oh, that's nice, man. Music not coming through. Interesting. Thank you for saying that. Sorry about that. It was good music too, and it set the mood. And then you're like, why is he so chill? I'm like, well, because the music was just. We'll just go back. Yeah. So this is what I see happening for Bitcoin. You know, we're kind of stuck in the abyss here on the daily chart too as well. We're getting above the dotted line. I've seen a massive move come out of that, but at the same time, we just keep hitting this same kind of diagonal resistance. So Bitcoin's got to try to get back above the zone. It's got to break above this level here to remain bullish. Otherwise, it's likely coming to the bottom of the support, you know. And then you line it up with maybe another area of support or resistance. You get these two zones. And so you're looking 24.8, 24.300. And that happens to be that weekly support zone that I keep mentioning too. And when a falling wedge doesn't break to the upside, it will break viciously to the downside in a fast, violent manner. It usually just goes boom. Very similar to how a descending triangle breaks down. It'll just dump, you know. And that has a measured move down to near this high volume node here at 20,008. And that would close the CME gap as well. That has been down there for so long. So could we do the CME gap dippity doo dah like we did that time? You know, boom. Only time will tell. But right now, Bitcoin's got to get above the previous high. I mean, it's in a little bit of a. The only good thing, or not only good thing, but you have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low, you have a higher high, you have a higher low. Until Bitcoin knocks out this low, it still has to be thought as in an uptrend. Until it can come down and bust through this low and then make a lower low, it has to be in an up. It's still in a macro uptrend. You can't deny or take away the fact that it's not, it's in an uptrend. So that's just kind of how it is on a macro trend scale. So technically still one, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. Even if it came down one more time to bounce at the bottom of this, and get a double bottom here, or some type of movement. So Bitcoin's at a pretty standstill moment, in the next couple days. I mean, it can only hang out for so long before it has to retest the bottom of this channel or break on out. So to me, by tonight, tomorrow night at the latest, there's got to be a decision here for Bitcoin. And so this is kind of a key moment here for Bitcoin. You can see it. I mean, it's clear as day. And we do see that strange diamond that I was showing on the other chart. So and I don't even really want to see a diamond. I'm not after being oh, it has to be a diamond, but it just. The price action it's very messy too. One thing you could half make out right here is a top line here and a bottom line here. And same thing, it's just tighten up the diamond really. Looks very Bart Simpson-esque too as well. So you look at the smaller time frames for some type of what you want to see here is a bear flag. if this is going to continue, you want to see some type of bear flag, some type of, you know, if it starts to break back up, then it's just like in a channel. And like if there's a continuation pattern on a smaller time frame, then I would, you know, look to short the market, you know. But if it doesn't, then I would just wait for a bounce. But honestly, false move Monday, worst time to trade. I'm always very wary of trading on Monday morning, unless you take in the open at 8:30 and you're up at 5:30 in the morning. That's a different story. You know what I mean? You eat real early. That can work. But for the most part, right now in crypto, Monday at like 10:30, 11, want to see kind of what the market's showing, and I usually let the dust settle on Mondays, see what happens, and make sure Bitcoin stays above a previous high from the last week. Can it hold its own? You know. So right now we're in this smaller channel for BTC, and likely also wants to come down here to the bottom of this channel, but we'll see if it can hold this previous bounce. Price action is very choppy at the present moment, in my humble opinion. Choppiest I've ever seen it. It's a mess, to be honest. Not gonna lie. Really watching the smaller time frames for a bit of a falling, you know, some type of falling wedge, some type of bear flag. See what the 7-minute prints here. Just projecting right now at the moment. Just as if we were going up, I would be projecting a flag this way. Wait for the 21 to touch. Same thing, waiting for the 21 to either get pulled down to price action. So if you're just joining, I'm looking at some type of diamond here, even though I don't want to. It seems to have made a diamond, but it came in from the top, which means it would leave out the top, but it kind of clipped the bottom. If anything, it's some type of symmetrical triangle here. Even if I take away the diamond, you see? Something like this is cooking right now. And it's in a glob of liquidity, a lot of buying and selling. So we see who can win this battle for Bitcoin. Stock market closed to make things sketchy. Yeah, I was thinking of that. Today is like some special day. Not every day is trading. The market came to you instead. You chasing the markets. Have your strategy and wait, in my opinion. Amen. Amen. Can I get the live revision trading course for my Betamax? Josh and on you. What is Betamax? I have questions, blah, blah, blah. Recording of the class 7 days a week. Okay. Litecoin RSI showing an entry. Always love watching your streams. Thank you for putting in work daily. Thank you. God bless you. All right. Never is a trading day. Well, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It all depends. You know what I mean? You just got to look for what the market can give you and then decide whether you want to take that move to the upside, you know? Total market cap is sitting at a very key area too as well. All right. Gonna break down total market cap. The one thing that I'm noticing about the total market cap is that it hasn't followed Bitcoin in the sense is like this low is closer to that low a little bit. The more I look at like the channel, if I open it up, I feel like that's just too much. So like to me, it broke a channel, clear as day. You know, like some type of broadening wedge. In a rising broadening wedge, they're bearish. They break to the downside just like a regular rising wedge would break to the downside. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anybody thoughts anytime Fit is going to give the 7 days free trial a shot? See if I want it. Anytime Fitness? What is that? All right. Gonna spice up the music too. There we go. Back into action. The music just gets me kind of in a zone too. All right. So here's the deal. 4-hour time frame, attempting to recover and get some type of strange move to the upside for whatever strange reason. You know what I mean? You could say it's a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder on some weird digital, like, you know what I mean? But it's kind of a stretch, but I've seen weirder things happen, but it's kind of a stretch to me. You know what I mean? No eat, no pay. Salute and shout out to the lifers. Juneteenth most. Oh yeah, it is Juneteenth. Shout out to anyone. Shout out to Juneteenth. Anyone celebrating Juneteenth? God bless you. We're all celebrating Juneteenth, man, because it was the end of a horrible time. And God bless everybody here in the United States. Up, down, up, down. You know, you could technically flag this out on a bigger time frame, but it would have to, you know, we'd have to get that bounce and show us that it's hanging out. Smaller time frames will show us as we're watching it in that little box. That's really Bitcoin in a bit of a nutshell today, as it kind of hangs in limbo at 26,400. You know, I still see more downside coming back to the bottom of the channel, unless it can, you know, break out of here. I'd like to see it come out, do some type of retest or flag, and trade a flag out of it, you know. Otherwise, it's a short with a, you know, a very short stop loss right there. Either get wicked out or who cares, you know. To me, I'd rather get wicked out short for tiny bits of money than, you know, and even have it go down and have a chance to ride it down. You know what I mean? And a lot of times that we talk about this, it never hits the stop and it just rides it to the downside. So, but we shall see. Anything is possible. Today's kind of the making of Bitcoin for the week. We see what Monday brings us. ES1. Check out the S&P futures, which have been just like on an insane tear. Figure there has to be a bit of a pullback. The 4-hour did pull back. See how when the 21 and the 200 start getting really far apart, usually there has to be some type of sideways price action. That's not going to continue forever. That's not something that, you know what I mean? Right when I immediately start seeing that, I know that price action is not sustainable. It's getting overbought, like overbought and overbought. You should get some type of bearish divergence with that. And if you open up the 4-hour here and you take a look at it closely, you can see that you have a swing high to swing high on a sharp uptrend. But here you do not, right? You have a nice downtrend on the 4-hour time frame, and that's a bearish div right there, like right there on the S&P. Doesn't mean it's like the ride is over, but it tells me that there's got to be some type of pullback here, even if we have low stochastic. And so I drew these two. These might be a little too big for what we're looking for, but some type of price action, sideways price action, I believe is in order for the S&P. And then it's got to just print what I call a continuation pattern. Some type of continuation pattern. It could be further down or further up, right? But once you get this, you know, and again, maybe it can just continue, I don't know where, but for me, it's likely got to pull back a little bit. So if you're trading the S&P or you're looking at it, just like see how it came up here and eventually had to do some sideways, like it has to make some type of sideways price action. Even if it's smaller or bigger, it just got to make some sideways price action. It just has to. Important for me personally. So that's one thing I'm looking at. DXY. So the DXY is something that we were talking about for a long time, right? And if you're watching the channel, we talked about this hidden bearish divergence, okay? Hidden bearish divergence is when you have a swing up in the RSI, okay? But you got a swing down in price action. And the thing that was, you know, I was concerned about and watching was this looked very Adam and Eve-esque for a bit of a double bottom. At the same time, I was like, well, top, bottom, this could be a long way to the top of the channel. Almost didn't, but it never hit it. You know, technically it should come back to the bottom of a channel inside of this bigger channel. And once I saw the hidden bearish divergence too as well, this thing looked like it was going to topple to the downside, right? It made this flag and then beautiful fall out of, see, when falling wedges break down, they break down the base of themselves right to the downside. See that, just a sharp trend down? It's a really good example of what I was talking about before. I love when like something later on in the channel brings us back to the beginning of the channel. But see how it just, you know, you'll see these just straight red lines coming out of it whenever you see a falling wedge give way. It's like the saddest thing, because like falling wedges love to break up, right? And like in your lifespan, if you watch falling wedges, you'll see them, you know. So when you see one collapse, it's always like, you know, but it's great when you're shorting it too. So it can be the happiest moment too. You know what I mean? As long as you're making money one way or the other, it's just a beautiful pattern that over time, if you've used it or seen it in your life, it's just like, you know, magnificent pattern. These patterns are wonderful. They can change your life, you know. Shout out to everybody here on the live stream. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. May God bless each and every one of you for jumping on into the life. Man, this life is difficult and it's not easy. And everything you do is a test of who you are every single day. Every single day. And either you rise to the occasion or you fall back and nothing happens. And so you got to work every single day. You got to make it happen every single day. No one's going to do a dang thing for you. People will come and see your hustle and help out your hustle if you hustle. The world will respond if you continue to grind. The world will respond if you can continue to grind. And that's a testament to anyone that's ever done anything in their life. They forgot about all the nonsense. They put away all the drama. They never listened to the rumors. They never listened to the nitpickers. They never heard, and they just kept grinding. They kept their head down and they just kept grinding. And yeah, no one wants to hear you whine. No one wants to hear you complain. People want to hear you grind. People want to see you grind. And at the end of the day, you earn respect for the respect you give. And that's this life in a nutshell. And everything is earned. Everything is earned in this life. There's no freebies. And everything you think is free comes with a price every single time. Every single time. Every single time. Amen. You know, you are the opportunity. You are the actual opportunity that you find in your life is you. Every single day. You make it or break it. You find it, you grind it. Sometimes, like, right, not being in a trade is the best trade. You know, and that can be true almost, you know, throughout any market, no matter what you're doing. And the ability to see that and be able to kind of relax and not force a trade is also a skill. As a beginner trader, sometimes I would have a hard time, you know, oh no, I had to be in something. And then like I'd be like, I'd look back and be like, why did I force myself into like all these trades when, you know, now I just wait for a trade to come to me or I don't take the trade. Like it has to be right. There's just no way, you know, it's just pointless. So we could be respecting this trend line. We'll see what happens here for the dollar index. It's hit a bit of a moment here too as well. And it's a bit oversold on the daily time frame. You know, just watching it. I'm not saying it's going to bounce huge. I'm just kind of, you know, would like to see it break this line and continue to the downside. We're just starting to see some type of sideways formation. We'll see how this entails. ETHBTC, something we haven't looked at in a little bit. Definitely always want to take a look at the ETHBTC idea here that I have cooking. And it's interesting. It's still just consolidating. It's kind of in like a complex inverted head and shoulder, if you ask me. Like if I had to, you kind of have like these multiple right shoulder kind of things going on here. Even one like, yeah, It's oversold on the 3-day chart, looking somewhat bullish too. It's interesting. You know, is ETH about to catch up to Bitcoin? Is that something you guys see happening? Or am I, you know? What's going on with Ethereum that would give it a bit of a push up in the next few weeks to the next few months to give it a boost against BTC? It's also could be considered a symmetrical triangle though that could break to the downside. So it's not all love one way. Yeah, you could say it's a 50-50% shot that it could break down too. But you're getting very oversold on the 3-day chart. Hanging on to this high volume node right here. Otherwise you would gap down though. Right down to here you can see there's a gap. Nice gap right there in price action on the VRVP. But a decision will be made soon for ETHBTC. Next, what, 30 days at the most? 10 candles, maybe less. And ETHBTC, when ETH starts to move against Bitcoin, it kind of leads like altcoins a little bit, right? And that's when you look at Bitcoin dominance, which was looking, you know, like it wanted to make a bit of a move recently, right? So I had this cup. 3-day chart actually getting a little high, a little overbought. So was the daily getting a little overbought for Bitcoin dominance. So I was saying there's a bit of bearish divergence there. Can it start to cool off for a bit? Even just a little cool off, and the alts trade a little bit better if we can get, you know. But here, that big green box is like this big resistance bar that we have broken back above. Yeah, you want this to come back above and basically take it over. It's kind of corny. So, you know, we're looking for this falling wedge to come and hit this 21-day moving average, right? Hang out, go sideways, something like that. And so, to me, it shows Bitcoin's cooling off a little bit too as well, right? You can see it in the price action. And you can see it in the price action. So, a little overbought on the daily. A lot of Alta low in the 3-day, you say? Yeah. Good morning, lifers. Need help, lifer. Trying to cash on my Homer Simpson as per my wallet and went up crazy. I can't remember when I bought the meme coin. I mean, you got to do whatever you got to do, man. Remember where you bought it. Go back to the swap and, you know, swap. I'm not a financial advisor though, and I can't tell you what to do or when to do it. You know, I can't do stuff like that. But whatever swap you swapped it at, swap it back out, you know. Volatility market index seems low as February. Would love to see it shoot up. Market's full of fear. Same time, smart money buying. Having, then boom. All speculation, of course. Shout out to Creators Crypto. God bless you. Shout out to You Grow, I Grow. Shout out to Josh McCombs. I'm in the same boat. Shout out to Josh McCombs in the house again. In the same boat. Shout out to Steve Garza. Shout out to Billy Bob 369. Shout out to Josh Matt Stevens, Internet Money. Shout out to my man Darth Dude, highly trained in the house. Farzal Salim, my man. West Salvador, love that name. It's fire. Love learning, we love you. Stack McChange in the house. Lifer Adam in the house. D Shuffle. James Armstrong, Jim Board 66 in the house. Thomas Semenich, Creators Crypto, my man. Jesse Z, Bassam Rashid, Patrick Leishman. Wow. PS5 Future of Gaming in the house, my man. God bless you. Edward Machado Lil Blicky in the house. Organic Auto Garden. Edward Machado. Tony Rosas. Sorry about the heat, man. I guess I had to say it. But, you know, it was... What a run, though. What a run for a team that, you know, really no one knew was going to do anything. What a run. It was sad, man. Amazing how you guys beat us. So it is what it is. I'm still obviously sour than a lemon over what happened to the Celtics. So whack. So whack. Anyway, my heart was broken, man. Jason Tatum should have went all the way, man. Nah, whatever. It is what it is. Wasn't our time, you know. Wasn't our time. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. And then the Bruins, too. It just was, man. And I can't think about the Bruins because that was like the night my dad was having problems. And then the next morning, like, it was just... The whole thing all just, like, meshes together. It was weird the night my dad was, like, you know, probably his last night, I was live streaming, and you all, like, threw me a bunch of money. It was weird, like $1,200 in super chats. It was really strange. And I think I was talking about his life, too. It was really weird. I gotta go back to that live stream, but it was really, really strange. As if, like, and then the next day, yeah, so the high coins, you know, just looking at high coins themselves, when I go just to the high coin list alone by itself, these things are just, you know, the hot item right now. Like, they get into their own little zone, and they tend to pump regardless of the market. And that's what I learned about being in a trading group and just on the hunt all the time, you know. And there's setups for these in the trading group, like HIVALA, high ANS4. This thing went up, like, well past the target. Came back down, but, I mean, it's even still up comparatively from this channel that it was in to the upside. And that's like, you know, Ethereum name service, right? HISAN 33 went up for 53%. Stayed somewhere up, but, like, still above 20, like, if you're just even just hanging out. Because what happens is people are minting these and start buying and selling them. And when, you know, NFTs get a little hot, so anytime the NFT market gets a little love, you know, recently there's been some new announcements in the NFT world that have gotten it back into the limelight. And there's still a big NFT community, really, you know, that's strong. You know, people that, like, travel around the world through their NFTs and money they've made off NFTs. You know, that's what I found when I started getting into, like, you know, meeting people at different places and going places. There was, like, a whole underground, like, a lot of the, because like some Bored Ape Yacht Club people, you know, they bought Bored Ape Yacht Clubs and they still have substantial value. And so if they bought 4 or 5 and they sold 1 or 2 at the height or near the height or somewhere even, you know, at one point, they're sitting on a nice bucket of money, and they still have, like, the 1 or 2 that keeps them in the game, like that makes them feel connected. You know what I mean? And so that I realized is a bigger area that is a lot larger than I realized. And what that does too is it sustains the market during the bear market, because these people will travel. They have money now, and they're all about the cause, and they know that there's another, and they understand Bitcoin too. You know what I mean? A lot of them have some Bitcoin and some other coins. They're not like 100% NFT people, but mainly that was how they made most of their money. You know, so they're more loyal to that because that's what gave them, you know, their identity in the market and their financial identity in the market, right? So when NFTs start getting bought up and there's a little more of a movement, those high coins, HISEALS, High Penguin, that's funny, High Friends, HIGAZER, they start to move. You know, HIGAZER up 26%, you know. So we'll see, like, just how I look at one of these. I mean, technically it's in like a cup and handle. See that? I mean, right? Even just a falling wedge with a little bit of bullish divergence there, because that's swinging down, but you got to swing up here on the RSI, right? And even this even marked the bullish divergence here. This divergence indicator had a green R telling you that was probably going to be, which isn't, I love, I don't use it as like a definitive. I don't love like a lot of auto things. I like to do it all manually a lot, but you see the swooping down low stochastic, low move here on the MACD. MACD doesn't usually get too low. RSI had bullish. This even had a bullish divergence. Just some things that you're sitting right there on a point of control. A lot of times that's like a last area of resort. You're either gonna get a bounce up or you're gonna fall lower than it. And after you've gone this low, right? And you got this cup. And you got a handle. Now it's like, well, could it continue? For me, it's all about watching like a flag on a smaller time frame. So like, technically kind of made a little bit of a, like, some type of symmetrical triangle here, right? And I mean, that's how you get the measured move. We wicked right to that area. It's very interesting how this stuff plays out over time if you just stick with it over and over again, but you zoom in and then you learn how to zoom in, and then you learn, okay, well, that's the 15 minutes to the 1 hour, and then what is the 1 hour and the 4 hour, and then you start playing with time frames, and that's when your mind bends, and that's when you start to zoom. And then you can be like, well, what does the daily look like? And you're like, wow, the daily's just getting started. And you can say, well, that's a high, that's a low, that's a high, that's a higher low. Can we come and take out this high and make a higher high? And that's a falling wedge with a pretty big daily candle. And the daily looks like it's could make a substantial move, right? Not saying it's guaranteed to, but it just looks like it could, So these are just things that you start paying attention to that you didn't see before, all right? BlackRock was just a fake out. They got retail to buy in, forgetting the BlackRock and Fidelity had already bought all the crypto for their ETF. They're trying to get it approved. They've been since 17K. What would be your target when Bitcoin ETF gets approval? I don't go on that like when this happens we do this. I think the space it's good for the space somewhat. But they also start trading paper, and, it's also, like they've been controlling the price of gold or silver due to paper contracts now for so long. So much silver on paper that, right, that it's hard to see through the mist. I don't know. It just, it puts, I don't want Bitcoin to become their Ponzi, that's all. If that makes any sense. It's funny. Someone I know was working for Prometheum, and I didn't even know it. Wasn't that crazy? Like, I had met them, and I was like, oh, this person works for a cool company. Like, I wasn't like, this was like a few weeks back, Or not a cool company. I shouldn't say that. But like, I was like, oh, he works for some, I didn't like, I half read it and was like, and I was like, I got to look into that. Like, who is that? I thought about it a few times, but it was like something I was going to like get to, and, they were a nice person. They were a trader, and we had met at one of the like consensus, and I was like, oh yeah, he works for Prometheum, and then one day he was like, dude, I'm out. I'm like, I'm leaving this place. And I was like, I just saw all these videos. He's like, I'm out. Like, it's so funny. It's so crazy. But it's like a small world, the whole point of my, like, especially the crypto world. Tiny little world. It really is. I'm not going to lie, Lithium will probably spark the run. I mean, people thinking Litecoin's going to do all this damage. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Could Litecoin do damage? I mean, it was in this nice symmetrical triangle, and it lost it. Shout out to Boosted Frequency. Thank you for the $20 super chat. God bless you for that. Thank you so much for the love. And yeah, everything is shut down today. National holiday. Day after Father's Day. Which makes sense. So, this wants to make a move back to the upside here. That's what we're looking for. If I want to be kind of nice, right, and say it's still in the zone. But Litecoin cannot come out and take out this low. It takes out that low. I mean, it's starting to make a downtrend. So, like, you really want to see this low hang. You know, this low is what, like 67? It wicked down to 64. So you really don't want to see 60, you know, a candle closing at 62 for Litecoin, you know. Oh yeah, it's Juneteenth. No, I remember my mom telling me. Sorry, I knew it was Juneteenth. I said it earlier. I forgot. I apologize. I forgot. I just forgot. I apologize. It's Juneteenth. Yeah. No, I remember that earlier. You have to remember my dad passed, and I came back to his house for Father's Day, and it's had me very reflective, and I apologize. It is Juneteenth, and I said it was Juneteenth earlier. I just apologize. I don't want to be like insensitive. Halocoin. You like Halocoin? Thanks for the love and the support, fam. Much love. Shout out to Lakochi Coker in the house. God bless you, brother. BlackRock was a fake out. I mean, BlackRock, I never want to get so excited that an institution is trying to buy up a bunch of something I love. You know what I mean? I mean, it's good and all, but they always have a motive. We can't always see all their cards either, you know. That's kind of the point. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world. It makes it a more substantial asset in the eyes of the rest of the world. Like, well, if BlackRock has an ETF, like, why would they do that if it's such a piece of garbage? You know what I mean? It's like the best technology in the world. To not get into Bitcoin is just absurd. I think they've been hearing a lot of Michael Saylor, and he pointed out, like, that MicroStrategy is up, you know, like 100 and some odd % or something. It actually outperformed Bitcoin a little bit, you know, which is interesting. Since I think March of 2020, I don't want to exactly be quoted. I'm pretty sure though that's what I've been hearing him when I heard him talk. We should just be as concerned about the BlackRock Vanguard problem as the Federal Reserve. I don't know why everyone excited about BlackRock. LOL. My holiday name suggests a make for a better holiday title. I think Biden's handler at all those. No apologies needed. I hear your voice. Yesterday was hard for you. God bless you, brother. Shout out to Little Blicky, man. God bless you, brother. Can I put in a song request? Let's pump it up. You know we pump it up. Let's pump it up. You're funny. No, but it's nice on this beautiful Monday morning, I think, to reflect and to think about life. You know, today's a day of reflection for me, and to just rejoice and remain free, as always. It's definitely the end of an era, though. You know. They just use 0.5% of their assets to buy BTC, and that will push Bitcoin to 100K. I mean, possibly, right? What do you think about GALA? I like GALA. You know, interesting coin. It's interesting. Back at 2 cents too. Back at it's like the lowest I've almost ever seen it, which is interesting. I mean, if we can hold this low and start to consolidate a little bit, but right now it just you got to really want it and believe in it at these levels. It's got to be the one for you. You know, I'm not saying you. I'm just a person. Like, these are, you know, to buy now is to either, you know, especially if I'm swing trading an asset, I like to see it. I don't like to get it at like the do or die levels personally. You know, I like to see it get up, like bounce here, make some type of maybe shoulder head and a shoulder or something, and then get a move to, you know what I mean? I want to see it show some signs of support before it starts to fail to the downside. You know, I don't know. For me personally, I'll take a shot every once in a while at a low, like something low if there's a narrative there. You know what I mean? Like maybe a high coin and it's like something that I'm looking at. But for the most part, you know, for me, like GALA, and I like GALA long term, right? But right now too, I'm like, and I know there's a V2. Like, did KuCoin give you the V2? Is this the same V2? I have some questions there too, you know, that maybe some of you can answer. And I'll talk to my team and ask them too. We'll get to the bottom of it. But like, is there a V2 here? Did we get the V2 on KuCoin? You know, so just remember the game on SKY where you had to pop bubbles. I forget what they called it. Straxido's got to pump it up. Let's pump it up. Let's pump it up. Let's pump it up. You want it loud? I'll give it to you loud. It's pretty loud, isn't it, already? I mean, the music looks pretty loud. Like, maybe louder than I wanted to. I don't know. What do you think? The funniest thing that can happen is when you open up a long at resistance and then open short at support and price action ranges between the two levels. I never met your dad, but I can see his legacy through your hard work, dedication, your love, passion, and big heart. Keep going, Sam. You're an inspiration to us all. Shout out to Daniel Perez, man. God bless you, man. I remember it was GALA, Naka, and the other one. Can't remember. GALA, Naka. Oh, yeah, right? It was like GALA, 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 Naka, Naka, Naka. Was Taka, Taka, Taka. Oh, man. Like, yeah, Nakamoto Games, GALA. That was funny, man. What the heck was it? It's crazy, man, the money that was getting thrown around. This market was out of control. Out of control. Those were the days, boys and girls. I'll tell you, those were the days. Yeah, now it's all these high coins just getting up there, really. And this Kuji coin is interesting to me on MEXC. Still sitting around entry point. Has some movement here on the daily. I want to see if he can break up out of this kind of emerging cup and handle, make some, even like a bigger bullish consolidation. Might take some time too. But maybe a quick 20-30% gain off the bat, and then we'll see where it goes, right? But that's something I'm looking at. Also, just long term, think something to look into. Very interesting project, right? And this coin was interesting. Had a nice little pop for 31% and still holding a gain of about 19 or 20%. This was a very interesting project. Daily's a little high after that breakout. but it's gain for all living. Just something that I think I threw about $500 in at the lows of this area here. We'll see what happens to it. You know, definitely could be something very low market cap, $5 million. So for me, you know, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, and it's very high risk for me personally. But there's 100x potential behind this coin, right? And it could actually get bigger and bigger and well known. Right now, it's like on the low. You know, it's on MEXC and maybe PancakeSwap or something. So it's not that known. It's you know, definitely something you could research, find out a little more about, see what's going on. Seems to have a good team, good roadmap, but we'll see. There's yet to, you know, we got to watch them, and that's why I'm not like throwing the kit and caboodle at it, right? I'm just kind of dipping my feet a little bit, checking it out, seeing what's going on. But I'm always speculating. I'm always out there looking. I'm always going through the bushes. I'm always just kind of on a safari, so to speak, on the altcoin safari, and I'm deep diving, and I'm, you know, slapping the mosquitoes off and pulling the mud off my face. Just, I'm in there, just, you know, sometimes I'm chest deep in mud, you know, just digging in the dirt, baby. I'm robbing the coffee stash. If it does, get to 16.8 for sure. Bacon wrapped damaged cheese on the beach, man. That sounds so good. I don't eat bacon anymore, but I found, you know, there's beef bacon that tastes great. You know that, right? Like, there's beef bacon, and it's amazing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's awesome. You like it. I like it. I'm telling you right now, you would absolutely love the beef bacon. No questions asked. All right. I remember when it was sand, ocean, and waves. Yeah, remember that? Back in the day, man. Those picks alone, the sand pick alone would have just, sand was like 4 cents when I was saying that. And it went to $7. I mean, just craziness. Absolute craziness. Absolute craziness. Another thing we want to look at is Total 3, which is the total market cap of all of the cryptocurrencies, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we just want to see kind of what the altcoins are doing on their own here. And like we said, like, are we going to make some type of bear flag? And so far, like, the daily looks like it could be rolling over. You know, that's like a falling wedge with, to me, with a bear flag coming out of it. Unless it can break back inside the wedge, really, and hang out and be some type of bear trap. I mean, the altcoins look like they could get a, you know. And look at this. I mean, this is interesting. It was making that similar pattern that Bitcoin was in. It really was, right? Which was this big broadening, you know. But look, it fell, and then look, it made a lower low. And that's not, that to me is not what you're looking for, because you had the low, you had a high, you had a higher low, you had a slight higher high, and now you got a lower low, right? You put in a lower low. It's just, that's a downtrend for the altcoins. It's just, altcoins are not looking amazing, you know. And now you have to get an altcoin to close back above 359 to remain bullish. You see, like, that's like your first thing you got to do. Then you could talk about trying to get back above here and breaking through this resistance. And that's going to be 409 or 410, about 411, 410 billion. So I don't want to be the bearer of bear news. Not to be funny, but right now, look, even the 22-hour looks like it's gonna dump on us here. And so I'd watch the altcoins. You know, Total 3 doesn't look amazing, and it's in a bear flag, getting resistance here at about 313 billion. That next stop would take it to $278 billion. Like, people selling off altcoins like they're going out of style. Could be some good buying opportunity. At the same time, that would have to be basically, you would hope at 290 we would be able to get a double bottom here that would have to hold. Otherwise, we're going to see some lows, and we're going to see some max pain on these altcoins. For a while, it was somewhat all right. We had a shoulder. This be your head. It was kind of a right shoulder. But once we got like real, you know. So I watched the altcoins. They don't look absolutely amazing at all. And I wish I could say, yeah, like, this is great news. But I don't see it. We're learning how to haka in the islands. We learned how to do a haka. A haka? I hope I'm not saying something I shouldn't be saying, man. Delta, Delta, Delta. Oh my gosh. It was haka. I knew it, Richard. Yeah, haka, haka, haka. Yeah. I value every dollar I spend. They're like 10 to me when I think about their potential during alt season. Amen. XRP. Alt's most definitely going to get wrecked over the next 3 months. Wow, most definitely. Yikes. Yikes. Let's take a look at our baby XRP. Someone asked about XRP. So I see XRP, see inside of this ascending triangle. You see it? And it's just been holding its own. You know, also can look like an M pattern though, with a break to the downside. Saw your videos for the first time the other day. I like your vibe, music, and attitude. From Alabama with love. God bless you and thank you. Shout out to Jamie. Toy Monster Crypto. God bless you, Jamie. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate your $5 super chat. And, you know, if anyone super chats here, we spotlight them here on the channel. God bless you. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. God bless you, man. Thank you so much for the love. Jamie, Toy Monster Crypto. And, you know, I love little drones and playing with RC cars still. When I think of Toy Monster, I think of, like, you know, going back to my old ways and just, you know, getting some RC trucks and cars and just having a blast with the kids. So, also, you know, little, like, I don't know, little boats, too. I want to get into all the RC, man. I love RC. Seems like traditional got a short squeeze and it's headed down lower soon. Give me more lower lows for longer. I need more popcorn. Oh, wow. Good thing I said popcorn. You're funny. Seems like traditional's got a short squeeze. Yikes. Yikes. All right, so XRPs. XRPZ. You know, resistance here at 54, right? You can see that was like its big level that it couldn't get above twice now. So you just better make sure you don't put in a lower low. All right, I mean, this is that area can't be broken at 41 cents. You can go anywhere around down to 44. You know, you can dabble with a wick to 43, possibly. It gets kind of shady there. But you really don't want to see, you make a lower low than this, I mean, then that's a confirmed M, and then that M could drop you to the downside, right? So you want this structure to be respected. And even then, remember, this is a 50-50 pattern. An ascending triangle is never a guaranteed move to the upside at all. All right? It could go either way. So another thing is, I've seen this before. Bitcoin likes to go flat on days when the stock market's closed. It definitely has, you know, some type of heartbeat from the New York stock market, you know. Billy Bob requested a look at Render, please. We'll take a look at Render from Strax Studios. Billy Bob 369 requested a look at Render. We'll take a look at Render. An old nickname of mine. Lifer, can you pull up a fib on the NASDAQ? Interesting. Shout out to Jamie. We love you. Josh McCombs. Only because your name is Josh McCombs and it sounds cool. SmartX, I mean. Strax Studios, you the man. There's good people here, man. There's always good people on the stream. That I can tell you. Where's everybody from in the live? Where y'all from? I could say I'm from Martha's Vineyard right now, technically. I mean, I spent 3 months of my life here for 20 years, basically. So 60 months of my life, which is 5 years. Poland, South Africa, Seattle, Denver, Long Island, Cape Coral, Florida, Colorado. D-Dubs is from Cleveland. Lifer Adam, best fam in the game. Ken Max from Michigan. Norway, Lansdowne. Singapore, Norway, Arkansas. FEMA camp, Region 7. My goodness. Iran. Yo, I hope I'm not joking with you. UK, I hope he's really not in that FEMA camp, man. Oceanside, Bristol, Italy, Bristol, Burbank, Miami, San Diego, Atlanta, South Africa, Cleveland, Texas, St. Pete, Florida, Vancouver, Sri Lanka, Brazil, baby, Georgia, Espana, but living in Belgium, Dade County, my man, for the 305, representing. Shout out to Stack McChange in the house. God bless you, Stack. Hilarious. Shout out to Ohm Home, my man. Hilarious. Greetings, Earthlings. Shout out to my man from another planet, Andromeda, probably, maybe even Zeta Reticuli. We don't know if he's a gray alien or not. If he's one of the little ones, the soulless beings. We don't know. We don't know. So if you look at the perp is loading for a move to the downside down to 28,000, 26,000, 25,800. I'm sorry, 25,008. That's what I wanted, 25,800, the 8,800s. But why do I say that? Well, there's just way more liquidity stepping stone to the downside. We don't have much up here. We don't have much up here. And we don't have a lot of like, you know, other movement. So we got this concentration. So this also does want to make a move down, you know. I'm still more bearish than bullish, but anything could happen. You know, maybe there's a chance they just roast people and they do a short squeeze to the upside, but it's tough. Right now, it's tough to say. For me, like, tough to say we're going to go up. To me, it's just more likely we're going to make a move to the downside. And you can see the liquidity waiting for us. It's just waiting. It's like, hi, why don't you come on down? I wouldn't like the long between this area and these big orders. That's 700 Bitcoin to get bought, 440 Bitcoin, 370 Bitcoin. I mean, it's a nice buy wall. You know, you could rejoice that idea that it's a lot, but you know, so short squeeze to the upside for the most money. Sam, you're funny. Love your humor, man. A sailboat on Lake Okanagan. Scott said he was in a FEMA camp, man. Oh, man. I mean, it's funny because it goes back to, like, it's not funny. It's like, you know, I mean, you never know. It's like, but, you know, like, I also know he's a deep diver then, you know, who's probably watched so many things that I've seen. Anyway, so, you can see how it's a big move for Bitcoin. Like we said, can it get back? You know, and why? Anyone watching the channel? Well, we broke it down earlier as we just went over the dollar index, Bitcoin dominance, the S&P futures. Because, like, it either breaks out of this to the upside and it continues to take out this high and this high, or it's going to make a move all the way back down to this area here at 24,741, right? I mean, it just, you know, 24,700. So if it can't get out of this and it gets rejected by the top of the trend line, which it has, 1, 2, 3, 4, this would be the 5th time, and you must assume, like, that it's going to until it doesn't, you know? So the smart move, patient trader waits for a breakout here, some type of flag in this area, or a break up here, right, to go after this high, and maybe this high up here too. If it gets above that point of control, it can really go, right? But that's, you know, this is all fairy tale, but this is the idea that could, you know, this is what you're looking for. Sorry, I didn't think it would take me that far that back. So that's, you know, that's what we want. You know, That's what we need. That's the break that we really want. Will we get it is the question. And the smaller time frames are predicting that things aren't going too well. Right? And if you're just jumping on in, I see some type of symmetrical triangle. And I see a bit of a diamond, which, you know, just has diamond vibes here. And yes, the diamond came in from the top, so it should leave out the top. But you're at a high area with the diamond coming in. It really doesn't. To me, diamonds form at levels. Like when I see a diamond at the bottom of a channel, we're likely to break back up. You know, when I see a diamond at the top of a channel, we're likely to break back down. It's just the facts of life. You know, it's just how I look at the diamond. So, that to me, that's what it's all about. All right. So this is what I've been looking at. And you got the shoulder head and the shoulder, like it just, I'm bearish until at least Bitcoin can break this high at 26,680. Like it's got to show me that it can get above the previous high. Right? That would be, this would be the whole, this would be, I mean, this would be amazing. This is it. Like, so we're at like a, we're going to set the tone for the week here for BTC. Right? And it either continues the dump now, which like we could watch on the 5. And that's why I got this, you know, it's got a little bit of bullish divergence there. So you got, now it has to bounce like out of, you know, it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if this started to break down. And for the most part, my you know, my projection is we'll probably just go sideways almost all day until tonight. Until maybe some type of futures, they get a vibe on some future markets and we start to see some pace. You know, but right now, I mean, with the markets closed, Bitcoin's going to be pretty flat. This is how it is. I got chased away from a FEMA camp in Yule, Florida, by some crazy looking dudes riding the ATV last year. Don't get close or they will. Oh my gosh, don't say anything like that. Happy belated Father's Day to you. Where can I find a list of high coins in the Discord? I'll post it for you right now. How's that? Copy the link. Link copied to clipboard. And then I'll post it in the Discord for you. How's that? You could also search high coins, and I'm sure you'll find them. But that, you should be able to import that list that I just gave you. I just posted it to the whole group. No cap, they're serious. Do you use HiBlock? You know, we do use HiBlock. I wanted to kind of start bringing in a little bit of a HiBlock bot. Happy belated Father's Day to you. Where can I find the list of high coins? God bless you, Bombo, for saying Happy Father's Day and then asking the question. Smart sales pitch there. Not even I'm not saying it's a sales pitch. I mean, it's you were being sincere, but it was just a intelligent way to address. You know, it's to give a little get a little routine. That's, you know, not, I mean, I don't mean to call it a routine, but it's a give a little get a, it's a way to live. It's how my dad always said, like, you know, you put out something first and see where it goes, you know. Let's take a look at render. My dad reminded me every day that nothing was free and that everything you get, you work for. And It's literally that hard. And the second you think it's not that hard, then you're slipping. It's literally that hard. And every day you wake up and you say, why does it have to be so hard? Because it has to be. Because it can't be easy. Because if it was easy, then what would it be too? You know, and then you're stuck with sitting and realizing that it has to be hard, and otherwise it means nothing. You see? And when you realize it, that's when the discipline sits in, and that's when you either decide that you're going for it or you're not. And that's where you make a decision with your life. And that's really what it comes down to. Like someone said, it's going to be hard doing someone else's dreams. It's going to be hard going after your dreams. It's going to be hard no matter what. You might as well go after your dreams. Because it's going to be hard no matter what. You know? That's like some earth-shattering advice that hits you hard and you're like, wow. When you really think about it. You know? So Render's been on an interesting path. High, you know, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Kind of a double bottom here, you know, showing signs of a possible nice double bottom, to be honest. And with a movement up on the daily time frame, this thing could move, technically. I'm attempting to, like, you know, make some type of, I guess, a channel out of it here, which makes sense. Thank you so much for the over 2 years, and I'm still blown away by your consistency on a daily basis. Thank you for all you do. God is love, 528, man. Thank you for the $5.28, man. God bless you. Thank you for the love. Tough times make tough people. Amen. You're a great father first, a crypto lifer. We must acknowledge that. Shout out to you, Bombo, man. I love you, man. You're a good person. May God bless you, brother. May God bless you. I appreciate you. A lot of good people. I met so many good people doing what I do. You know, and to me, it was YouTube doing my thing. And next thing you know, like, the community of people that I've met through YouTube, you're some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Hands down. Hands down. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Could it be an M pattern? To me, maybe, in a way. I mean, I'm open to it, but it's a little too, like, elongated, and this is just a little too stretched out. Right? And even if it is bare, like, it could be a shoulder ahead. It might make a right shoulder here. Right? Like, just come up a little bit and come back down. That's what it's looking like to me. Right? Super chats are like tattoos. You think only gonna buy one, but then LOL. Strack Studios, my man, you're funny. Dustin Cobb is in the house for super chats today. I think he was posting XRP. Interesting. All right, so we got this falling wedge wants to break back to the upside. 69% gains possible out of a move for Render. If it can break on out, I would be looking for it to get back above this $2.36 region. That's kind of the level that I'm aiming for. So we'll see. We will see. And one thing, Sean and Jamie, if I could get the news in Discord again, because I somehow still have to set up my Slack for whatever reason. I apologize for not saying anything too. Sean, oh, are you out there, Sean? I wasn't on schedule with Super today, but I can try and go back and look through them to see if we missed anything. No worries, man. God bless you, brother. Sam, can that also be an M pattern? Thank you, Sean. Wow, Sean. Sean, you're faster than the fastest man on earth, man. You're like faster than a bee, man. faster than a hummingbird. All right, my name is Samuel James Price, and every single day we do the news here at the Crypto Lifer channel, and today is no other than a different day where we will... Hi, my name is Samuel James Price, and every single day on this channel we do the news here at the Crypto Lifer Show. I'm here with the Lifers. I'm the Crypto Lifer, and together we make the Crypto Lifer Show every single day. And around 11:30 we give you the news, and we want to talk about things that are happening, mainnets. There's also developments. We want to see what's going on behind the scenes and bring it to the forefront and see how that's going to affect the markets and see what's happening in the later date and time. And I love it, and it's also fun. So let's jump on in. BNB Chain releases Layer 2 testnet based on Optimism's OP stack. Wow. Developers expect the OP-BNB blockchain to reach speeds of 4,000 transactions per second at a targeted cost of 0.005 US cents per transaction. I mean, BNB getting less expensive, Ethereum getting more expensive. BNB Chain releases the OP-BNB testnet, an Ethereum virtual machine compatible blockchain based on Optimism's OP stack, developers said in a release to CoinDesk. They should pump up the price of Optimism and BNB. You'd think they would both get a little bit of a move here. Developers expecting the OP-BNB testnet to reach speeds of 4,000 transactions per second, and as we said before, 0.005 US cents. That's half a penny, folks. Half a penny. These are similar speeds seen on blockchains such as Arbitrum, double those of BNB Chain, and significant higher than Ethereum's 30 transactions per second. Yikes. Testnets are simulated blockchains that mimic real-world usage, allowing developers to test applications and complex tools before deploying them on a mainnet. I mean, and the fact that it's with Optimism, that's a big deal. I like Optimism long term. I believe it's going to do numbers as we continue to go into the bull run and the halving. But again, not financial advice. You got to do your own research. But I like Optimism a lot for a play. And BNB just seems to be the coin that will never go away. Continues to innovate, continues to move. It was one of the first. It will be one of the last, in my humble opinion. Still at $241. BNB. I remember when I bought my first BNB at $1. And BNB, man, one of the most amazing coins in the game, in my humble opinion. EU legislation for digital euro is put on hold. Wow. A bill covering privacy and distribution of the central bank digital currency, originally scheduled for June 28th, will be delayed. Wow. European Union legislation needed to underpin a digital euro, originally due to be published June 28th, but it's been put on hold. The move follows the leaking of a draft bill which covers privacy and technical issues for the central bank, and a statement by finance ministers that appeared to question the motivation for the plan last week. So, they tried to slide in some things here that looked like they kind of would have been detrimental to the user. And at least there were some people stepping up in Congress there to try to hold it back, or it's all a dog and pony show. We'll find out to see what happens there. The bill was most recently scheduled for discussion at a publication at a June 28th meeting of the European Commission decision-making body, according to a tentative forward agenda published last week. It did not provide a reason for the delay, nor did it give a new date for publication. The plans were also discussed by finance ministers from the Euro area at a regular Thursday meeting. They stressed the importance of developing a compelling and clear narrative regarding what would be the added value of this development in terms of a difference to the economy and citizens' lives. Irish Financial Minister Pascal Donoghue, in a statement after he chaired the talks, adding, "Within our institutions, ministers want to support this work, but also look at how we can further develop that narrative." Interesting, to say the least. Hinman's emails release in SEC Ripple case is a boost to Ethereum, says JP Morgan. The documents are likely to intensify the move among major cryptocurrencies to become more decentralized and look more like Ethereum, right? I think that's old news, though. I think he's kind of seeing it from the outside. But again, let's see. The Hinman papers, good thing that they're being talked about and by other people too, and actually being mentioned by the JP Morgan, though. Last week in the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission's case against Ripple is a boost to Ethereum and is a likely trigger to move more decentralization in the crypto market. Email ties to former director of corporation finance Will Hinman's 2018 speech said Ether did not look like a security, were published last Tuesday by Ripple in its defense against an SEC lawsuit. Senior leadership at the SEC did not rank Ether as a security in 2018, the report noted, as SEC officials acknowledged that the facts that the token on a sufficiently decentralized network are no longer securities creates a regulatory gap. The speech acknowledged that there is another category, analyst led by Nicolas Panigarizoglu wrote, adding, it's not a security because there's no controlling group, right? Yet there may be a needed for regulation to protect purchasers. So it's like, yeah, like it becomes this open source project of its own, and then there it is. It gets let out, and it's code. They're trying to kind of put that code in a box, and it can't be. A lot of back and forth. This Hinman thing has been a long time overdue. They've been fighting for this for 2 years, really. This came up at the beginning of the case. One of the biggest things we've ever seen. It's been tiring, I'm sure, for the XRP community and the XRP army. Unbelievable, right? So again, with XRP, it just has to stay above this low of 42, right? 46 is fine, 45, anything wick down to 43 gets into this scary area. But if it can hold this level and get into the tight zone, it could move further to the upside. Then you're looking to break this high at 54. And then once it can do that, I mean, look, there's a pretty fast gap up to one level at 61, and then it can go further really quick to 75. And then final destination would just be the length of the base here, which would take you to 86 cents. And I'm not saying that's guaranteed. I'm just showing you that's where this pattern would take you if it began to break out and break these highs first at 54. But you got to get through these highs for 54. You can't lose this trend line. You know, I'd like to see the tight, it gets a little tighter in here. Then you know it's winding up and the move is getting ready for XRP. But it's starting to getting pretty winding up as we speak here. As you can see, it's already getting tighter and tighter in the zone. So XRP looks interesting to me. But again, let's see how this case works out. This is a 50-50 pattern, which is interesting. So it's not revealing a lot. It's like it's kind of goes inside with like how we feel about the case as well. But that tightness does tell us that a big move is coming for XRP, either up or down, which is pretty interesting. Down would take you probably right back to the lows again at 31 cents. But it held that level pretty nicely so far. So we'll see. XRP has a kind of a double bottom there, and then it's been trailing off into this more consolidated move. So there you go. And that's the news, everybody, for you. I just wanted to throw XRP in there as there's so much kind of talk about what's happening in the case. Back to one of the best tracks in the game, too. And follow us on Twitter at CryptoLifer33. I'd greatly appreciate it whenever you get a chance. Thank you so much. All right, one last thing I want to break down, if I have a moment to, right? Are the CME gaps. I like to remind myself of the CME gaps every day so we don't escape them. We understand what's happening here. And so could you say you're still in this giant channel? I guess the CME gap has technically still holds the channel, which is interesting. Pretty weird, right? But here would be 20,000. It kind of starts, I'll be honest, at about 21,100. And it goes all the way down to about 20,004 almost. Like, it's a pretty big gap. See, it's a pretty big gap. You might even start, 21,250 at the top. And somewhere at 20,370, right? So about a $1,000 gap right there, right? So in the middle is about 20,007, 20,005, 6 area, right? So that just, that's an area that we would see a drop down into the zone, okay? And then a move back up into this gap would be about 34,900, right? We do see a big gap up there too as well. So which gap do you think we're going to fill first is the question we've been asking people every few days. 3490, 900, or 20,730, right? And that's the big question. That's the question. What do you think? You tell me. You tell me. So still flat, as I would suggest today, with closed markets. You know, it just is what it is. You know, shout out to anyone celebrating Juneteenth. You know, if there's a barbecue, people just happy to be alive, celebrating life, love, and peace. Anything that brings peace to the world, anyone that gives other people the feeling of equality and love, it's important. Love is the strongest frequency, and we must live with love every single day of our lives. That's where the change happens within, right? When we learn to love, we learn to change our lives, and we learn to be grateful for every single moment in our life, no matter what's happening, no matter how hard it is, right? No matter who we lose. And that's the key. The beauty of gratitude is it becomes habit when it's a great day. It becomes a force when you go through a hard time. And when your habits become a force is when you know you've changed your life. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, because they start becoming things that you can bring with you no matter what. And they can help you get through no matter any situation, right? So remember, we got the CME gap, all right? We got the CME gap here, all right? And we're flat right now too as well, so we'll see. Only time will tell when it comes to that move. Sui's been on everyone's mind a little bit recently, but I'd still be a little wary. But it is hot. It does have the love. It's on MEXC. It's on KuCoin. You know, it's the new craze. 75 cents ain't bad either. But I'd watch it for a while. I wouldn't be jumping on it. ChatGPT came back to the previous lows after a really, or ChangeGPT after a real nice, really, they talk the talk, look like they could walk the walk, right? Making new lows, really, if you look at this. This is just bear market stuff, man. You know? You're in a bear market. This is new coins struggle on their way to breaking back up to the upside. Doesn't look amazing, though, I'll give you that. Even the daily is a little stretched. 12 hours. You know, all you want, though, is the first higher low to be made. And then, this thing can start to kind of dig its way on out. If it does what it say it's going to do, and it becomes like a blockchain way to search, and it really is like the hype that they talk it is, I mean, it should be pretty cool. And you think it would be a really good investment in the long term, but we'll see. You also can't call anything you want something GPT and see and like without backing it up, and so there's a little bit of both, right? That's why there's always speculation involved at the end of the day. At the end of the day, if I can move this mic closer, I guess, right? But there's always speculation. All right. Remember that, like, you're in a speculative market as well as much, you do as much research as you can. But there's still things kind of going around, right? My man said Halo. He mentioned Halo earlier today. Up 43% from the low, though, out of nowhere on a candle. Again, same thing. It's got to get back above the point of control and get some love. Get some love. So if Bitcoin does make a drop to the downside, we want to be ready to make some gains, correct? And so to do that, we want to make sure we're looking at some 3S tokens. Like, even if you like to short futures, whatever you want to do, you want to be ready, right? So look, we talked about Link 3S, right? And you can see now, since I put it out just the other day, it's up a nice 10%, okay? Now the market's been sketchy. And look, the 12 hour still has room to move here to the upside. And so far it's making a nice pump. So Bitcoin leaves that area and starts to drop to the downside. Link 3S will pump nicely and continue for more gains. All right, that's just how it works. All right, that's what you're looking for. Cardano up 9% the short, you know, again, too. Still holding the gains. Yesterday it came up, came back down, but today it's holding those gains and has that move. If Bitcoin continues to drop, this Cardano move will break up further up for possibly 35% gains. Okay. Even BNB is, as you can see, is getting tighter. Kind of a descending triangle. It doesn't look amazing. I'll give you that. They usually break down, you know. But the 12-hour is suggesting it's a double bottom and a move to the upside, right? If Bitcoin decides to dump from that position down to that 24/7 area, I mean, these are gonna pump, right? And so I'm always watching the shorts and building a short idea in the back of my mind, because that way I'm ready and I'm paying attention, right? And it's not all one way. You always have to have, trading is just like chess. You have to have a backup plan. It can't be all one way. You have to have a backup plan. Okay? You have to be ready for both scenarios. And then when you see the best high probability way, you take that move. That's all trading is. That's all it is. That's all it is. These all have a little more gas in the tank here on the 12-hour time frame, a little high on the 4-hour, but they could still make a move. 1 hour wants to pump a little bit. Specifically the coins people have been fudding too, you know, like Atom, Cardano, right? Just you take advantage of that. AVAX is forming this consolidative move here. So I'm just, you know, and I just showed you what I saw on the total 3 market cap. So instead of like living in fear here, we just got to take advantage, right? And short whatever kind of makes sense. VeChain wants to break up and make another move up. So this is what I'm looking at in the trading group, and that's what we've been talking about. Yeah, baby. How's it going, sweetie? How was it? How was it? How was it? How was everything, honey bun? So I also see VeChain 3S possibly getting a move to the downside as well. I mean, to the upside. So I'm, you know, these are just things that I've been just kind of keep reminding you and showing you every single day here on the channel. So you don't get, you know, you have an option. You can see what else is coming on. Love, peace, and joy. Remember, health is wealth. Love is the medicine. Joy is the expression. Peace of mind is the natural state. Trading spot with stop limit makes small gains instead of leverage this week. Amen, man. As long as it ain't a loss, it's a gain, right? So that's all that matters. And yeah, and everyone, that's it for the day. God bless each and every one of you. Let me make sure we didn't leave out any super chats. 2 years watching you, I'm still blown away. Thank you for the love. And let's see the fan funding. 528. Billy Bob. Jamie. Boosted frequency. Thank you so much for the $20. Stanford Mind Co. Lifer, could you throw some TN XRP? We got that. Just want to say you're an inspiration. Thank you. And shout out to anyone that threw down God is Love, Stark Studios, and we're gonna start doing this too. For Billy Bob holding it down, Strack Studios, we love you. Jamie, Toy Monster, and the whole bunch. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you, and may God bless each and every one of you for jumping on into the live. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow for another beautiful live stream. Crypto is life. Thank you so much for jumping on in.